Hi, welcome to Burning Bridges. I'm Holly.
Hi, I'm Taylor.
And today, in honor of Taylor's birthday, happy birthday,
Thank
um,
you.
we are doing a double feature.
Double two.
Yay! So do you want to talk about them? Because these are your picks.
Yes. I feel like I've talked about them a lot on Sparks. By the way, we are now being called Sparklers
I
if we
know.
are members of Sparks.
I,
Shout out.
I feel like we need to shout out Speak Me Out for that, correct?
Yes, that was
Yes.
such a good name. I love it. I think it's
I
perfect
love it
for
too.
us.
I'm totally obsessed, and my next I look in people's profiles, I'm definitely saying thank you for coming up with sparklers because
Yes.
it's literally the perfect word. So
it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
And also shout out the person who guessed one of your songs. Shall we shout them out?
Yes, Crystal Skies, of course, the real professor amongst us. Of course, she guessed it.
You guessed.
For all we know, she had her class probably do an assignment to figure out my little hidden Easter egg post. She figured out the Exile part of it.
Okay.
But it's two songs. We're doing Exile and we're doing Coney Island.
Which I'm so excited about.
I'm so excited. As you know, if you've been following me, these are two of my favorite songs. I love a duet. And I love these two in particular. Unbeknownst to me, because I was trying to decide between these two, and I was talking to Holly, and Holly's like, well, let's just do both. And I was like, well, okay then.
Yeah, let's do
it.
I
didn't realize it at the time, but today is my 49th birthday. I know I don't look it. Thank you. And Exile is track 4 on Folklore, and Coney Island is track 9. So I totally did like a Taylor Swift thing without even realizing it.
Yay,
so I felt very cool, and that's why I made that Easter egg laden post.
Yeah. Nice.
With Justin's name in there for Bon Iver, and the piece 2 for 2 songs, and Crystal got a lot of those clues, and she picked one Exile. So yay, Krista! Yay!
And yay you! Happy birthday!
And thank you. Bracelet shakes for Crystal, and snaps and claps
for both of you.
Yeah.
Well, and for now for coming up with sparklers.
Yes. And we're starting, just everybody knows, we're starting off a little unhinged today because I got the time wrong. And so it was like, oh, we need to record. I need to set up my whole thing. And
yeah, so it's been one of those days.
It's been a day. So if we're a little more je suis calme than usual, then great. Enjoy.
And guys and girls and sparklers all around the Swiftie-verse, I made the Sparks office. I'm in the process of doing it.
It looks fantastic.
Epically huge Sparks Fly friendship bracelet and all kinds of fun stuff. And I'm going to do a little video later on to show you all the fun.
That's a really good idea. I have been adding to my stuff. I have my shelves back here are finally done. Yay. I do have something that represents every era on the shelves. So if anybody wants to get really ambitious and, I don't know, zoom in or whatever and try to decipher what represents which era, I have some art by a sparkler in there. I have a soap from Sparta Candle, who we love.
We do love.
And some more art from Etsy and lots of different fun things. So
yay!
I said, if anybody wants to get ambitious, I've got all 11 eras represented.
I'm having all 11 eras. I'm not zooming in right now because I'm not finished fully, but I also am incorporating everything that you guys have sent to me. It's in the background, and all this other little fun stuff. So it's been a lot of work. And
it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
And I've been massively organizing my I don't even know how to describe it. When I make this video, I'll show you. It's like the amount of stuff I have for each era. And I've archived, like I've categorized, like it's insane. And I cannot wait to show you guys. Like, as I was like putting it all together, I was like, wow, I might have a problem. I don't know if this is in fact normal.
No, I mean, I get it. Like,
care,
I was literally walking through like stores going, a white horse. I just need a white horse. If I could just find a white horse. And I never, there's no white horse. I never found a white horse.
No.
I ordered a dragon. It didn't come in. Like, it's been a whole thing, but, I'm really happy with everything I have now. And I ended up buying some things that, like, I only use part of like what I bought, and then I have like 2 other parts that I don't know will never get used, but I don't care because I love everything I have.
Yeah, it looks awesome, and I can't wait for mine to be finished. It's taking
so mine
so
will
long.
Constantly be like rearranged and moved around, and this is my bedroom, by the way, so I just can't wait to bring a guy home and like be like, hey, come to my bedroom.
Check this out. Yeah.
Hope you like Taylor Swift and cats, because that's
what's going on here.
What we got going on here.
The theme is that.
That's the theme. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I feel you. There's, oh God, I don't even want to get, I'm like staring at one of the, like, it's in front of me right now, like this.
Yeah, yours is like 360.
Yeah, it's 360. Crazy.
Mine is just one wall, so I've at least contained it a bit.
Yeah, there's no I had to like go build furniture to like put my stuff. Like, I have so much stuff. I cannot wait to take you guys on the tour of just the bead collection I have. I've
seen some of it.
It's insane. I'm like, wow. But I love it, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So whatever.
Exactly.
Okay.
Oh, we have songs to discuss.
Let's get into it. We're starting with Exile, right?
Exile.
Oh wait,
all right.
we need to just burn the candle. God, we are
God
out of it today. Y'all.
We can't burn it unless we burn it.
What phase is Mercury in right now? I feel like there's something retrograde.
It's probably in retrograde.
Yeah.
Feels very retrogradian. It's snowing here. It always snows on my birthday. It's always blizzardy on my birthday.
Mine too.
It smells so good. Thank you, Sparta.
Woo woo. Amazing.
Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so, now we're ready to burn, baby.
We're ready to burn some bridges, baby.
Woo! We're ready to burn the bridges.
All right. Starting with Exile.
Starting with Exile, which started to get written by William Bowery.
Yeah.
AKA.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes. Weird. I mean, interesting. Not weird, but interesting.
Interesting. I mean, I rewatched the little part on the Long Pond. By the way, before we jump, I wanted to ask you, when you listen to folklore, do you listen to folklore or do you listen to the Long Pond studio sessions? Which one are you? Which girly are you?
I'm actually completely both. I am. I'm completely both, because there is a time, like, I have such a folklore is such an album that like, I remember the exact minutes of listening to it the first time. I remember everything that was going on, like, so picture perfect. And it's an album that really is so important to me, and I don't know how to describe it, but it's like my comfort album, and it's like everything. I don't know. It's just very special to me. And so sometimes I just have to hear all of the exact ways that I heard it on the album. But I'll tell you right now that My Tears Ricochet Long Pond version is like I love both versions. I love both versions. It's just sometimes I just listen to them back to back.
Wow. There you go.
Yeah. I go all in if I'm in, like, if it's like a folklore day, it's like folklore every way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Well, how about you?
Once the Long Pond came out, I was full on Long Pond always. I'm a big fan of the stripped down acoustic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything.
Yeah.
And I just love that so much. And then probably about, oh gosh, middle of last year, I don't know what happened, but I started listening to regular folklore, and it was like, this feels like a whole new album, because I had only listened to Long Pond for so long.
Okay. Yeah.
And with the orchestration behind it and everything. So it was really fun.
Yeah.
Just to almost like experience it again in a whole new way.
Totally.
So now I listen to both, and it's,
so we're both
really fun.
We're both.
But I have really, I feel like Evermore has just kind of inched its way above folklore for me just a tiny bit, only because I have no skips on Evermore, and on Folklore Epiphany, it's a great song, but it just brings me back to like pandemic, being stuck in my apartment by myself, and it's just emotionally, it's like a Ronin, you know, it's like, it's a great song, but it's just emotionally, I'm not always in that headspace for it.
Yeah, understood.
So just because it has like that one skip song, I don't know, Evermore's just kind of been my girl lately.
I still like sort of link them together. Like I'm really like in a folklore mood and not in an Evermore mood. Like it's like if I'm in a folklore mood, then that means I'm like listening to both of them.
I literally have a Spotify playlist that's called Folklore Evermore. Like,
exactly.
I just join the words together, and it's just all the songs.
Yeah, exactly.
And I have my art here that is basically the two sisters next to each other, because I do feel like they're for a long time, if you had asked me like which album is Coney Island on, I would have been like, I don't know, it's on one of the two, because I listened to them both, you know, at the same time. So it's only been recently that I've kind of been able to separate them a little bit. But
yeah, I mean, I just kind of I merge them. Like in my head, it's a merger. But
because they're sisters, like we're sisters.
Yeah, exactly. So so it's emerging. All right, so let's start off with Exile.
So as I was starting to say, I'm so sorry. So I watched the little part of the Long Pond studio sessions of her explanation of the writing, which I just wish we had of Evermore too. But she said that the way that the song started was Joe actually was writing basically the first stanza on the piano. Like he wrote that.
But see, like it's unclear to me if she was meaning lyrically or just music.
I think she said lyrically.
Oh, really?
That he wrote it. And then Bon Iver, Justin, wrote the bridge. So I don't even know how much she actually lyrically wrote of this song.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's probably one of the songs she had lyrically her hand in the least. But it's so interesting when we look back now at what we know of their relationship, and it's just like,
it is fascinating. And I wish we had more clarity on, like, was he just writing the music and you threw in these lyrics, or did he like write the lyrics and then you added more lyrics and then Justin wrote like it's just all fascinating. Like,
well, I mean,
in general is so amazing.
I can see you standing there, honey, with his arms around you. I mean, it's all about, like, you love someone, but there was someone else, and we know now that she held this candle for Maddie this whole time. It's just I mean, she can say she made up these songs, and I'm not gonna call her a liar, but I mean, it's too perfect.
Yeah, and I think like sometimes like it just, I don't know. I have and like, first of all, let's just preface this and say, like, we don't discuss our theories before this with each other. We just
especially today, because we were like,
we're just winging it up. We're just gonna, like, you're literally watching our actual discussion right as it's happening. We have not had this discussion before.
Right.
So it's interesting to me when people, you know, when the craft of songwriting and the process just in general, because I don't know if any of you know this, but my fiance is a musician and he is a singer and he's in like 5 different bands and he's an incredible singer and he is a amazing songwriter. And
his name is Bonnie Bear. No.
yeah. Yeah.
Surprise!
Surprise, everyone. Yeah. But to watch the process and to collaborate with him at different times, it is very interesting because you take on all these different roles that are very separate from your actual life. Do you know what I mean? But they're also, I don't know how to describe it. It's like this weird creative process that you can take on complete different personas and personalities. However, what I find very interesting about this one is that what you were saying, like Jo started this and then she made it this like, I mean, it pretty much is like, it was almost like, these are the questions I start having. Like during lockdown, was there like more reaching out to Maddie or something? You know what I mean? Was it more obvious somehow? Like, because there wasn't all of this like fast pace of your life that can kind of like hide, you know what I mean? Like you're not like just sitting there with this person all day and they're watching your every move or whatever. You know what I mean? Like there's all this chaos going on and it's just somewhere in the back burner, but this like brought it to the forefront and he was actually like realizing it more like during that time period. I don't really know.
Yeah, I would love to know like the discussion. I mean, cause I like did he start writing this and then because they had talked about it, maybe they had a fight about it, or he wrote. I mean, maybe they never discussed it. I don't know. Like, I feel like he sensed it, but she didn't confirm it, or you know, like I just feel like it was because a lot of this song is about miscommunication.
Oh yeah, but the whole thing is about miscommunication, right?
I mean, they are miscommunicating in the song.
Yeah, totally. And that's my favorite, most brilliant part of this duet is that they're both mirroring each other's like fault, like they're both mirroring each other's issues, you know? Like, you gave so many signs, you didn't give any signs. You never learned, like, you know what I mean?
I gave you so many signs. You didn't give me any signs.
You didn't give me any signs. Like, so it's like from 2 different completely point of views. And that's just very interesting, but also so real life. Like that's such a
yeah. I mean, I've lived it. Like I have gone back and talked to guys like after a relationship has ended and found out like if I had just explained it this way, or if you had just told me that this is what was going on, maybe it all could have worked out. And it didn't because whatever, you know, we just didn't communicate right for whatever reason.
Well, and you know, like, do you know that, like, I don't know how to word this, but like, do you know, like that theory, like that, well, I mean, it's not even a theory, it's a fact, like that time isn't linear. And it's like, sometimes like time isn't linear and you can feel ripples ahead of us about something that's going to happen.
Kind of like a butterfly effect kind of a thing.
Kind of like a thing. But you can, sometimes, you know, we feel like the ripples of something that's going to occur in the future, in the right now. Like you can sense it, like something bad's going to happen or something, like there's something, and I don't know, like maybe it was like one of those situations also. Like he was sensing this and started writing the song, you know?
Yeah, that's
really,
like
he was
my question. Like,
did
did
really
he
happen?
like, did he sense it? Did he know she was? They were. I mean, I don't know. That's what I want to know. Like, how much did he know about their relationship? That's what I want to know. And is that what this song came from? And then, if it is, did the discussion then come out of that, or did they just like, we just wrote this song? And then we're going to turn around and I'm going to write, you know, Invisible String.
Right.
And the same album.
On the same album.
About how in love and how perfect our relationship is.
Which leads me to believe that no, they did not.
Yeah, I agree.
To talk about.
I don't think they talked about it at all.
No, I think that I think that probably even he himself, or I mean, I'm just wildly speculating, was like writing from like an actor point of view, like a character, like this is like a story I'm coming up with in my head. You know what I mean? And chalked it up to that. And probably she was doing the same in a lot of ways, but like there was an undercurrent. I mean, look at a song like Peace. You know what I mean? Like that's like so about Joe. Like I can never give you what you want, basically. Like, will it be enough? Obviously it wasn't. You know what I mean? Like I can never give you the one thing that you want, you know? Mm-hmm. But like in Exile,
I was just gonna say, I just feel like they were lying to themselves.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The whole time.
Probably.
And not in like a vicious, malicious. No. They both wanted it to work.
Yeah.
But they
knew the right steps to different dances.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like that was like the sadness of it all, is that like they were both doing the right steps, but they were both dancing the different dance.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, first of all, can we also just segue into how great their voices sound together? Justin and
yes.
Taylor. Can these voices,
good.
It's like the perfect duet voices together. It really is obsessed with how they sound together in the song.
Confession that for a long time, I also thought he sang on Coney Island. Because it's a very similar sound, that very deep voice. Yeah. And when I found out it wasn't, I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's Matt.
Yeah, it is. But I do have a little bit of a funny story. Okay. Is that one of the little girls that I nanny for.
Yeah.
She does this like voice sometimes. We call it her demon voice. It's very funny. And so obviously I'm listening to Taylor Swift.
Yes.
I have to turn her into a little Swiftie. And we got her a onesie that says itty bitty Swiftie.
Ah, itty bitty Swiftie.
I know, it's so cute.
I love that.
And she like dances around, like with the Eras tour on and everything. She's precious. I love her.
So cute.
So I was listening to folklore or I don't know, a Taylor Swift mix, whatever. And this song comes on. And so Justin starts singing and she goes, she does her little demon voice.
Oh my god.
His voice is so low.
So low. He's got such a great register. That low, that's hilarious.
It's like, oh, there you go, girl.
That is so funny. Oh my god, hilarious. She's like your duet partner. She's like,
yes, absolutely.
That's adorable. Oh my god, cute. Itty bitty Swiftie though. All right,
I know.
Because this is like your picks, I want you to lead us through Exile in your mind, and I'll just interject when.
Sure. Well, I mean, I do think that these two songs actually they're very closely related because they are both like after relationships have ended. Mm-hmm. They're both looking back at the relationships to like look at what went wrong, and in Exile, the what went wrong is we did not talk. We did not see eye to eye. We miscommunicated. And now you're with someone else and I'm on the outside, and that obviously hurts. It's, and I wish things could have been different.
Yes.
And then Coney Island is, we had this good thing and we thought it was going to go really far, but all this like something else got in the way. And in the song, it really seems to be like fame or the pursuit of whatever it is they're pursuing. And it's like, I wanted to be there for you. I wanted to, be there at the gold clock with the, with the cake, happy birthday. But I also was, didn't make you my centerfold. I didn't, I didn't thank you in my speech. I was doing all these other things
Okay.
pursuing my maybe professional side of life, and I sort of didn't cherish the relationship enough. And
Oh yeah,
again, that feels like her and Joe, and he helped write this song too. So it's like,
I have this. Okay, so
girlfriend.
yeah, like I feel like Exile is like here's just a glimpse into these two people not communicating our situations. Also, I just will say that like Joe literally did leave out the side door during the Eras tour. Like he like literally
he did.
Like when you think about it, it was like
Yeah.
we broke up and it was like and moving on, and then Maddie came in. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like it was like a true
I mean,
leaving
they're literally is like, I could like, he's just an understudy for me. Like that song became so prophetic. Like,
yeah,
it's
definitely
wild.
It's wild. I see Coney Island as in a different, like Coney Island to me is an apology song, and it's
oh yeah, for sure.
It's like realizing I've taken other people for granted, realizing other people took me for granted, and like I feel like I think Coney Island is about multiple people.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think it's like one of her like most interesting lyrical songs, because I think that she is basically going through a list of her exes, and because of like we'll get to Coney Island in a minute, but like I think that it's a letter like to her, for her, apologizing for her behavior, and also his voice, Matt's voice in this is like from the exes. Is it like apologies from her exes?
Okay.
Which I also think is super interesting because Joe wrote it with her. But I think the whole first verse of Coney Island is for Joe.
Yeah, the difference in Coney Island is we don't know what parts he wrote, what parts Aaron and the other members of the National wrote. They're all credited.
Yep, they are all credited.
There's like 4 or 5 people credited to writing this song, which is unusual for a Taylor Swift song.
It is, but I still think that this is like she was like, and we don't know like if it was changing of a one word or whatever, but like
yeah,
we'll get to Coney Island after we're done Exile.
Okay. Fine.
We have to stay on one. I think it'll get confusing.
We don't have to do anything, Holly.
What?
We don't have to do
That's
anything.
true. We don't have to do shit. But
this is our place and we make the rules.
We make the rules. But yeah, I mean, I think that both of these songs are extremely interesting, and it's like almost like a mirror copy in a way of the two songs on these two albums. Like they're sister albums, and they both have a different viewpoint. Like in this, which is what like it's interesting to me because it's like Exile, which is on Folklore, which is the first one of the sister albums, is like here's the point of view of this relationship, these people not being able to communicate and talk. And then the next album, Evermore, here's the song again, Duet, that is now from the apology. Like I can see where I was flawed and took people for granted. And I can see where those people also took me for granted. And to me, the way that they sing this song, the parts that they each sing, Matt is like always the voice, I feel like, from her ex point of view.
Interesting.
Yeah, like I'm
not saying I disagree. I don't think I see it that black and white.
Okay. Should we get? And I'll just tell you like the reason, like why I think that. The first verse of Coney Island, I think, is all about Joe, especially because she mentions things off of both Champagne Problems and Delicate from Reputation. Okay, yeah. So I feel like that is her Joe part. But then I feel like there are specific lines that go to like specific events in her life that we all like sort of know about, and specific lines of different songs that I feel like are 100% about the guy that she was dating at the time. And this is like it's like a farewell like song to them, like an apology from them, an apology to her. And then like Coney Island to me is just a metaphor for all of the relationships she's been in. Like she's not literally sitting on a bench in Coney Island. Like she's, you know what I mean? Like the Coney Island is the relationship and the sun is setting on it because it's dead. And sorry for making you my centerfold is basically like, sorry that I didn't put you first. So, right. So like, the part that's like, what's a life of achievement? What I feel like to me, that's like, do you remember in Miss Americana and she's talked about this many times where she like won album of the year for 1989 and there was no one to call.
Yeah.
Like that time period. Like to me, that's like a line from that part of her life. And then if I push you to the edge,
you were too polite
to leave me is very like false Gotti to me. And then do you miss the rogue who coaxed you into paradise and left you, to me is very Tom Hiddleston, Getaway Car, Met Gala.
Yeah.
Also when you're, what is the line when you're too wise to trust me or and too old to care, Tom. It was the one place to be, the mischief, the blah blah blah, the suburban dreams, Harry Styles, suburban legends, and all that. Then the accident is out of the woods. I think that the gold bell and all of that is calling back to Love Story, the video, and maybe some Taylor Lautner-ness. The birthday cake, I think, is Jake. I think painting your blue.
Damn, girl, I didn't catch any of this. The only thing I caught was the awards. I didn't mention you in my speech one because wasn't that Calvin that she didn't?
Yeah. Yep.
He was sitting there and she didn't thank him.
She didn't thank him. Oops. The birthday cake, the happy birthday, is Jake Gyllenhaal. Did I paint your bluest skies the darkest gray is literally a line out of Dear John. So John Mayer. A Universe Away, I think, is Maddie Healy. And then the sight that flashed before my face, I feel like, is back to Harry. And then the podium is Calvin. So she goes through all of them. And then she's like, bye to all of them.
I didn't catch any of that. I'd like relinquished my professor hat. No. I didn't get any of it.
No, I mean, that's just I could be completely wrong. I mean,
no, I think you're spot on. It's genius. I wasn't thinking of it in that way. And part of it is I'm not as up on the old lore. Like my real good lore knowledge starts with Joe. So
yeah, and I could be very wrong, so who knows? But like that's like well, this is what happened. Like when that song came out, when I heard painted your blue skies the darkest grays, I was like, what? I'm like, that is just straight up out of Dear John. Like that's
true.
A line out of Dear John. So then I was like, huh. So then I just started looking at it. I'm like, wait a minute, birthday cake, Jake. Then I think like that golden bell is also like there's a lot of golden clock. To me, it's like very Love Story and and you know, like even back to December when she like comes back and she's like, you know, waiting around. But you know, so it like goes through like all of her eras in this one song. That's what I find. It's like that's like my favorite part of Coney Island. In my head, she is saying goodbye and apologizing, and then also like when you listen to him sing now, you'll go like weird because he's singing like her ex's like apology to her and she's singing her apology to them in these like very specific era coded sentences in my head. I don't know. I could be okay wrong.
Then why do more people love Coney Island? Because I feel like I'm the only like person who's constant like Coney Island, Coney Island, Coney Island, and
I think a lot of people like Coney Island, but I mean, I don't know. Like I also have like I think that a lot of people do like Coney Island, and this is like a song.
Well, they better.
Like, but I think that everyone's theory is correct. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the beauty of music. Like how.
Unless it's my theory that it's more correct.
That it's what?
I said unless it's my theory, and then it's more correct.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So there you go. But like, I think that like this was like the lead up also to like. I feel like Coney Island is like the rough draft of the manuscript.
I was just gonna say, yep, like the manuscript.
Yeah, it's like the rough draft. She's like, I'm gonna do this very abstract with like Coney Island being the relationship. And I mean, I don't, and even I like break that down a little bit more in my head because it's like Coney Island. She's talking about like in my head, it's like obviously the boardwalk where like there's like theme park at the end, like roller coaster rides, dazzling things, circusy, mirror ball. It's like her career, like it's like the map of the whole metaphorically, like
yeah,
all of it. And she's sitting there looking at it all, like, and putting it all back together. Like what happened, what happened in each of these relationships. I'm just going to do a recapping. I think this is like a very pre-Tortured Poets Department song. I think this is like the most Tortured Poets Department-y
I can see
song
that
on Evergreen.
Yeah, although I think that I've been listening to, I've gotten back into my constant listening of Tortured Poet, and manuscript I really think is just John and Jake. Really think it's just those two.
Oh, well, what, really?
Yeah. I mean, we'll have to save it for when we do that song, but
yeah,
and I may change my mind by then.
Okay.
But I just feel like it's like John and then Jake and then Jake and then John and then John and then Jake.
Huh.
Yeah.
I think it's like basically a goodbye to all the eras. And like
the
story and all of the lore is not mine anymore.
I agree, like that line. But I feel like the verses are really specifically the, you know, the organ donor, the, you know, drink coffee from a fresh press. French press.
Yeah.
Those specific
visuals
that she sort of paints. I think one is John and one is Jake.
Okay, cool. Interesting.
And I will be happy to break all those thoughts down for you in the episode in, I don't know, July or something when we get to it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so like let's talk about how you like. I guess we're done with Exile. Are we done with Exile? Do we need like our? I don't know.
I mean, maybe we may.
I don't know what's happening.
I don't know. I don't know. Well, I did want to. Since I did watch the Long Pond.
Okay. Yeah.
Thought it was interesting. Tell me what you think about this.
Okay.
So Justin, it was during COVID.
Yeah.
And he likes to cover his face anyway, right? Like, I don't know tons about him, but
he does.
So he's wearing like a bandana.
Mm-hmm.
The bandana has blue seagulls on it.
Oh, for like 1989 for about?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think that's a coincidence. Like when was the I don't have my notebook with me. When was the re-release of 1989? It was, I feel like that was a little Easter egg in there or something. Like
that would be stealthy though. Like she'd be like, what? Go get a
like I feel like she sent it to him or something. Yeah. Or he knew or something. I mean, that can't be a coincidence.
It could, I mean, I don't know. Can it? I don't.
I suppose anything can be a coincidence.
Yeah, but not a lot.
I mean, it's a white bandana with light blue, like teal seagulls.
Huh.
It's come
on. Are you saying that it's referencing Maddie? Is that where we're going with this?
I don't know that it's referencing. I think it was maybe just an Easter egg for the 1989 TV release.
I feel like the order of the songs in Coney Island was the Easter egg of the map of how they were going to be released because they go in that order. Fearless, blah, 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 down.
What?
You guys can go check it out.
You know, we're gonna have to end up taking all of our backgrounds down and putting up one of those like conspiracy boards with the red yard.
I've had a few of those before for Taylor stuff. Already done it. Yes.
It's just as you open your closet. By the way,
living room. Like, no, this isn't weird.
Totally. The next time I come visit you, you're gonna be like,
like here's
next time as if I've been to visit you, but there will be a time.
Yes,
many times.
Definitely, without question.
Yeah, you got it.
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe now I'm feeling like I'm on like a lonely island where I'm insane, and Coney Island is about nothing I just said.
No, I really think you're right. I mean, okay, so before you said all that stuff, my thinking, I mean, I kind of was thinking the same thing, but just not so specific.
Okay.
I thought it was more like, I took it as Coney Island being used as this very prosaic, a place where a lot of people go. It's like, especially people in the Northeast, which obviously she's from, like that's a very, like you go to Coney Island, you do that. That's like a thing people go to and they do, and you ride the rides and you get the hot dogs and it's like a thing. And so it's a common, like everyday thing. And then like a relationship is kind of a common it's like something that most people do. And so I thought that Coney Island was kind of like, okay, so we started off being two normal people, you know, hanging out, doing things, and then our success, or maybe Taylor's success, got in the way because she was so laser focused on what she was doing that she didn't give the attention, or she and whoever else she's talking about they weren't able to feed the relationship that they were in, because it's like it got out of balance.
Yeah, I agree.
And basically, we're saying the same thing. You're just saying it's more specific to specific relationships.
Yes.
And I did not see it that step further that you did.
Well, and I could be completely out of my mind, but I also I thought like because she also wrote this during the pandemic, it was like basically what she's saying, and I'm sitting on a bench in Coney Island wondering where did my baby go, is basically her saying like, now that the whole world is stopped, I have time to like reflect on the past, and now that everything's slowed down, like the fast times, the bright lights, the merry-go, that's like, I feel like her life, like her career, like the fame of it all. And I feel like she, in her mind, she was sitting on a beach reviewing like, well, now that like time has stopped, basically, let me just, how did that end? How did it end? I mean, I didn't even mean to say that right there, but like it was like like,
and that's another song.
Yeah, like what
and I think a lot of us did that during lockdown. A lot of us had the time finally to sit back and say, what happened with that part of my life, or with that person, and a lot of people like reached out to people and had those conversations. Or I mean, I know that personally, like a crush I had on somebody, a situationship, a back and forth like that I'd had for 10 years. And I probably would not have ever gotten over this person if it had not been for lockdown, and the time in lockdown to sit and really process everything over that 10 years with that person.
Wow, yeah.
The back and the forth and the up and the down.
Yep.
To realize, oh, this is not the person for me. And like romanticizing the person and all that kind of stuff. So it very much was a time of reflection, because we didn't have anything else to do.
We had nothing else to do. We didn't. And it was very well, and also because of the like doomness of it all. Like it was like so dystopian that it was like you sort of like, at least for me, like I was like going backwards in my head, like through my life, and like times when everything was normal, you know what I mean? Or like what I felt was like normal, or like happy, you know, compared to this complete dystopian landscape that had been formed, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I remember I sat down with like a notebook and like planned out what I would want at my funeral because I was like, who would know? Who would know at this point? Like even my favorite flowers or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like we all had to sort of face that mortality in a sense because you didn't know.
It was wild. Yeah. And it was very scary. Like, let's just not forget the fact that it was terrifying. And
it really was.
It was just bonkers and horrible. And yeah, so I think that there is a very it's like it was very existential. Why can't I say that right?
Existential crisis.
Yes, like time period for the.
We were all crisising.
We were crisising. Like the whole planet was. Most of us were crisising.
Well,
you know,
those of us who were not denying it.
Yeah, I was in full blown reality with it. Like, yeah, this is really happening, and this
like
is
wiping down my groceries. The whole.
Oh yeah,
everything.
The whole. Oh my god, yeah, like way deep, like very long into the pandemic. I was like, nope, not going outside. You know what I mean? Like, nope, not doing that. You know, like.
It's actually so funny because I remember when Folklore came out.
Oh my god! Yeah.
I actually went to a lake that's nearby my house that I used to go to all the time when I was like in high school. And it's like we got this gift because we didn't know it was coming. We got this gift from Taylor, and I'm like, I'm gonna go and sit by this lake, and I'm just gonna listen, and I'm just gonna like take it all in, and it just like was this moment of,
oh my god, it was incredible.
I'm outside, I'm listening to new music, I'm alive again. It was a really like beautiful moment,
and the music fit the whole planet's vibe so perfectly that it's like I'll never forget it. Like I didn't go outside when it came out. I was laying on my bed with earphones on and listened to the whole thing, and like literally just laying on my back, crying. Like the album made me just get so overwhelmed with emotion. Especially like the song 7. When we got to 7, it was like, are there still beautiful things? I don't even know. Like I was a hot mess during the pandemic, if you all can believe it. Because you know, like I'm not dramatic or anything.
Right.
But, like,
shocker that you and I would have like really been in our feelings.
Yeah, I was really
and overanalyzing everything.
I was.
Who would have thought that?
I know, but like, spoiler alert, it was nuts over here.
We were completely unhinged. What?
So I don't even know what the word is for it, but like it was. I was a step beyond unhinged. I don't know what the word is, but it was like bordering on like
a new word.
Like
unhinged.
But like I also had Todd listen to the whole album. Like you have to like come upstairs, lay on your back, listen to this entire thing front to back. Like just the entirety of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just watched him listen to it. Like this is how like wacky I mean, I'm like trying to paint this picture. It sounds so weird when I'm saying it, but no, I literally watched like his.
You watched him listen to it?
Yes, like the entire thing. And like in my head, like I knew what song he was on, even though I didn't, because I had literally only listened to it like 4 times. But like I was just like crying while I was watching him, and he's like was crying but not looking like it was like so moving to him, and I was like, yes, I knew it. Like this is not just me.
It's not just me. Mm-hmm.
It's like this music is truly beautiful, and it's so of the moment, and it's such a vibe. Like I mean, he was like, you know, salt streams out my eyes and into my earsing, and like I was like incredible. When this whole thing was over, he took off the headphones and he was like, that was truly a masterpiece. Like it's a masterpiece. And I'm like, I know. Give me my headphones back. No.
And that's the last time you get to listen to it.
Yeah. No, he's listened to it like a billion times. Like it's such a profoundly accurate snapshot of the time period. And I don't know if other people who like in 20 years from now, people who weren't alive during the pandemic, if they'll have the same forever, like Folklore is stamped into my DNA. Like it's like a part of my existence now. Like and same with Evermore. Like they're both like albums that were like perfectly the backdrop to my entire life at that time, and to everyone's life at that time who was listening to it. Like, honestly, like, it was, I mean, the oh my God. I just, anyway, I don't know. The Coney Island to me is like a crazy, beautiful, lyrical masterpiece of metaphors about her reliving her past relationships, but not in like a reflective way, in an apology. I think it's like literally an apology to herself, to Taylor, for Taylor, and also like from the exes. Like, so I want to know what everyone thinks now about this, because now I feel like I'm like a lonely little.
Yeah, well, no, it's interesting because it's in folklore, which is obviously she wrote before Coney Island. She has the line, now I send the ex's babies presents.
Strings, yeah.
So she'd already sort of made up with at least some of them. Like, she'd sort of come to some closure.
Mm-hmm.
Except some people, she did not need the closure.
Yeah. Exactly. I don't need your closure.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I get it. I get it. And it's like, you may never have those conversations. And so you do have to imagine what that person, like, I don't think she's going to sit down with Jake someday and they're going to have a conversation about.
You do think she is?
No, I don't.
Oh, I was going to say.
I don't think they're ever going to sit down.
I was like,
I honestly don't think that she and Joe will ever sit down and, like, I mean, I think they probably talked it, and it's probably been talked to death probably between them, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think she's done being bored also, so. You know what I mean? Like, she's like, what's left to say? You know what I mean? Like, we can't beat this horse again. You know what I mean?
Well, and, and now he's, like, giving interviews about, like, oh, we all need to move on. And, like, okay, there was one song about you. Like, relax.
Oh, I don't know. You think there's only one song about Joe?
On TTPD.
Oh, on TV. Yeah. I was
gonna say,
some of her most beautiful songs about him.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But it's like, I don't know. And then apparently, like, her Instagram account viewed some story about him saying that, and so it's
who cares? Yeah, but like, what? Like,
and then people are like, "Oh, she can't let it go. She can't let anything go." And it's like, it probably wasn't even her. It was probably somebody with her account, like, or she was just checking her mentions.
Like, I mean, props to the people in the world who can let things go, because, like, I would tell you that I am not one of them. like whoever these, like, enlightened beings are who can just, like, let everything go and truly let it go. I know, like, one person like this, and they can truly just, like, let things go. But let me tell you what, like, I can't, and it's very hard to do. Like, it's just a part of being human. Like, it's not like you're being vindictive or vengeful or whatever, but, like, it is in your head. Like, you don't have to forgive, and you don't have to forget. And she said it herself, and so
that's don't ever have to let it go.
Yeah, so, like, why should I? But I don't need your closure. I just don't. I'm just done.
The thing about the whole Instagram thing is, I'm pretty sure, like, I didn't see the actual story, but first of all, I don't think it was his story. I think it was, like, a fan page posting an interview of him. So she was probably tagged. Who doesn't check their mentions? Like, we're just normal people. We check our mentions. Like, if you're a famous person and if you are Taylor Swift,
like,
you check you have to check your mentions.
Why? Everyone in the world is mentioning her.
I mean, like, because if somebody's saying something like
what?
Litigious or something we need to sue about, or something like that. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
they're, okay. They're not. Oh, I mean, to be fair, if I tag Taylor Swift, she's not checking it. Because
the whole planet is literally tagging this woman and everything that she ever does. Like, what if it is all about me? Yes, it is. Taylor, the answer to your question is...
It is.
It is. It is. It is about you, okay? But in my world, it's about her in an always, like, you're the best kind of way. In other people's worlds, it's like, oh, it's always about you in the worst kind of ways. So, like, if somebody on, like, Joe's fandom, like
how does Joe have a fan?
Like whatever.
What?
Like,
what are you a fan of?
And like Taylor's, I know, certainly not that last photo shoot because
oh my God, you hated that photo shoot so much.
Like literally, I hated it, you all. Like it was uncomfortable. Like it was, I guess, all I can think of is Manila when I like look at it, just like a non-color, like just like a
mayo,
just like I don't know, like just
Bleh.
and just like just so I don't know, but like the and the lighting and everything about all of it, and like
all of the man purses. There were a lot of man purses, and I don't have a problem with a man purse.
It's the way he was holding it or something. Like
there was he obviously wasn't comfortable with it. Somebody was like, "Hold this," because whatever.
I think he is comfortable with it because he rocks man purses all the time in public. Not that there's anything wrong with man purses, but like it's just like he makes it like a showpiece or something, and then instead of like who. I don't know. There's just something about that. There's something about that photo shoot that I cannot handle. And it's like, it's so uncomfortable to me. And it's just like, what? That I'm just like, Joe wishes that Taylor is checking some dumb story, like a one sentence he said that people need to move on. Like she has. Have you not seen that she has surpassed your relationship goals like by a bazillion fold? So it's like, really, like everyone needs to move on. Like
for all we know, he like texted her and was like, you need to check this story or something. Who knows? We don't know.
Also,
I like see it happening.
Here's another like way to look at it. Hi, I'm an actor who clearly wants to be known for like my craft or whatever, but like I really am not in anything anyone has ever watched or seen or remembers
or heard of, or
so clearly it's not going so swell with this occupation of mine. Okay, so me inserting myself into one of the best, most infamous, most amazing, legendary people of all time will probably do my legacy a bit of good. So let me just like throw in a sentence or two in a couple songs. Let me have like an alias. Let me create some lore on top of your lore. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and let's just keep it going. So it's probably like his publicist who like made up the story that like Taylor's people are looking at his shit. Like Taylor doesn't have time for this. Okay. Like Taylor doesn't care. I will speak on behalf of Taylor when I say no one cares. Okay. Like let me be the first to say this out loud.
Okay. I would like your opinion on something.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of posts after they broke up about, oh, Taylor's probably so mad that he has a Grammy because he
doesn't care.
Thank you.
Literally, she does not.
She's sitting there fuming. Oh no, I let him go write a song and now he has a Grammy. She cares? Like what?
Here's the thing.
It doesn't take away from her Grammy.
Also, this is how, like, if I was Taylor, this is how I'd be thinking about shit. Writing songs, this is probably going to win a Grammy because it's amazing. And because I'm allowing you to be a co-writer on my album, you will, in fact, win a Grammy also. Because she knows the music industry. She knows how it works. She knows how everyone gets a Grammy for if they wrote on a song.
Yeah.
So, or on the album. Or
it doesn't take away from her having the Grammy.
No, because, literally, who goes, oh, Grammy-winning artist Joe Alwyn ever? Has anyone ever said those words? Never. I have never heard that. Not once.
That's how I
Grammy award-winning artist. No one. They'd be like, what? Like, and then they'd go, did they just say Grammy? And not like, British Town Pub, like award winner? Like, it doesn't even matter. It like literally doesn't even matter. And his name was a pseudonym anyway. Like,
true.
So who cares? Like, literally, who cares? I don't care. Like, and more importantly,
But it's just this perception.
Taylor doesn't
people of like, why would she be mad? Why? Explain to me why she would be mad about that is what I want to understand.
She doesn't care.
She doesn't care.
If she had any realm of caring that this person would win a Grammy, she would not have them on the album.
Exactly.
Full stop.
Exactly.
Full stop. Because
she's
it's like,
not dumb.
No, she's in fact extremely smart. This is called I'm throwing him a bone because his career was suffering and I had to like deal with all of his like mini blues and ocean waves of blues and all this bullshit. And I'm giving this man an award, but I'm doing it in a way where I don't have to give him the award. The Grammys can give him an award.
And yes, the song was about how I'm secretly in love with another man anyway.
Yeah, like I don't, this is his mini moment. Okay, no one's going to remember this. Like, really? Like, no one's going to go, like, remember that time Joe Allen won a Grammy? I mean, that's not even going to be, like, a Jeopardy question ever. Like, no one is going to care. And certainly not Taylor. Taylor's thought through it a bazillion times, every which way you can imagine. How will this work out? I mean, if I was Taylor, I'd be like, any album that I came up with has the potential to be album of the year. And I just know that. So how do I feel about so-and-so being on an album with me if it has the potential to win album of the year, which in turn would make them a Grammy winner? And she picks them carefully. Note how John Mayer, never in a song with her. Well-known musician. Note
not her album.
Well, not on her album. Not on shit that she is like, this would be my win. You will never be a part of my wins. Okay? Like, the end. Like, I can share my win with you if I want to, but you will, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Even though she saw him as Superman and Superstar.
Right, but like.
But she still didn't do it. She could have. I mean, he was like hot at that time. Like, he was
humongous. And she's like, nah, I think I'll go the road alone. Joe Jonas, huge musician. Harry Styles, huge musician. Maddie Healy, huge musician. Like, there's been a plethora of musicians. She could be like, hey, you know what we should do? We should like, like, you know, lock this down for eternity on this album. Do you know what I mean? The only person that she has truly ever really done this with, full name, no pseudonym, out in the open, is Travis Kelce. Part of the Eras Tour movie, on stage with her.
Yep.
Songs about him. The end. It is locked down. Like, it is like, if she was dating anyone else during this time, and first of all, they never would have even been a part of the Eras Tour, like on stage doing a whole recital, like they never would have done that. Do you
imagine if she suggested it to either Joe or Maddie?
No. They would, first of all, Maddie could never have even done any of it. Like,
no, he would have melted. I mean, he would have melted down. He would. I mean, it's too precise.
And he wouldn't be able to pick her up and walk with her anywhere. Like,
well, even if it was doing something else in the show, like the show is so precise, it's so timed, and he's like, I just have to go with my emotions and my feelings, and maybe I'll take this out, maybe I'll throw this out, and
never would have happened.
And he probably wouldn't even show up that night.
Correct. At 100%. He'd been a no-show. He'd be kicked out the stage light, still performing, but yet somewhere else and not where he's supposed to be. Do you know what I mean? Like, whatever.
And Maddie would be, don't you look at me.
Maddie would be like...
not Maddie, Joe.
Joe would never do this. Absolutely.
But don't look at me.
He's not even in Miss Americana. Like, they were fully together, and there's not even an actual... He doesn't say a word. There's no him in the background. It's like you see his shadow once and her hug him and like see his like ear. Like in
maybe he's not a real person.
Oh, he's a real person. He is.
Maybe he's like this ethereal being.
I think she's like, side note, I'm not putting you in this documentary because you won't be seen with me anywhere. Do you think that I'm going to put you in my movie if you won't even let me go out of the house and be seen in public? No. You're writing under a pseudonym and you're going to win like a Ricochet Grammy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, so no, like, no, she's had plenty. She can work with anyone in the world that she wants to. I think the Joe thing was a sympathy throw. Like, it was like I'm stuck in the pandemic. I'm locked in with like some like depressed British like bore, and I'm gonna go insane. He's gonna write a song with me, and
Mm-hmm. Well, what songs did he write? He wrote he did not write any songs.
Right.
He contributed to Betty, Exile, Coney Island. Any others, or just those three?
There's probably more that I can't think of right now, but like I think those are the major three. I think, yeah. Interesting though. Well, not on that album, but Sweet Nothings on Midnights.
Right.
Another album that perplexes me that he wanted to be a part of.
Right.
So anyway, like if we're sitting there,
like Joe, did you listen to the songs?
I feel like her talent smushed him into nothingness. I really do. I feel like, and then I think that he was moody and like brooding and like passive aggressive about her awesomeness. Do you know? I mean, I really just do. And I think that she was like, during the pandemic, she's like, give this man an award. Please, somebody give this man an award. You know what I mean?
Well, like we talked about in our last episode, you know, she kind of saw this coming. So she definitely, I mean, she obviously didn't hope that would be it, but.
Yeah. She was like, you're not man enough to be with me. Is like really what it comes down to. Like, I thought you were this. You were my lifeboat out of like out of the bad time in my life, that whole thing. But I outgrew you because you can't grow with me because you want to hide me from the planet because because my career's because I'm like an anomaly. First of all, like it is probably very difficult to be in that circus. I can't even imagine what it entails.
No.
The amount of steps it takes, the everyday life changes. Like it is very isolating without question. All I do know for sure is that Travis Kelce can handle all of it, and he does it with such joy and like support and love and admiration that I'm like, yes, finally,
yes,
finally, just awesome. I love it. And there's no like, she's like thanked him on stage for making everything fun, and like she's never talked like this about anyone.
That's my cat, by the way, if you're hearing things being destroyed. Okay. She's being very cute, but she's causing some trouble.
So
but yes, Travis is, I think, exactly what she needs.
Absolutely.
And her equal in a lot of ways. And
without question.
The people that don't see that are people who are judging on a very superficial level.
But what's there to even judge on that level?
People who see him as a meathead jock, I think, and her as just very, bookish and intellectual. And it pisses me off because, first of all, he's dyslexic. So it's not that he's not intelligent. He has a learning disability. Okay. That usually means you're even more intelligent because you've gotten this far overcoming or learning to, adapt with that learning disability.
The other, I mean, like as a person with like extreme ADHD and dyslexia and all kinds of stuff, like I will tell you that like there was many hard roads for me, but I can do things that other people cannot. Do you know what I'm saying?
I bet you can.
You know what I'm saying? Like I have my imagination is like my creative side is so overwhelming that like and it is I don't want to get into it, but like it's like a thing, like where there are certain like types of brains that like just we can do things that other people can't, you know.
Mhm.
We can
like, they see things in a different way.
Yeah, we just see things in a completely different way. But here's the other thing, like, he is an athlete in one of the most strategic games that's ever been
Absolutely
around. You have to be smart and strategic and know next moves, and have like they run on the same adrenaline, they run on the same, like, what's the next step,
yes,
seeing into the future, acting quickly, like being charismatic, like all of
seeing 3, 4, 5 steps ahead.
Yes,
absolutely.
All of these things are life of the parties, team players, like, but also dominant personality. They're both alphas. They are both alpha types, and they handle each other so well because they're not in the same genre of skill. Like it, like the problem is, I think that she dipped too close to her own, like, industry with people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's in a separate, complete world.
Yeah,
you know? But also look at the athletics that is involved with just doing the Eras Tour. Like, they're very, very similar in a lot of ways. They're both driven. They're both ambitious. They're both highly, like, focused. Like, they both have incredible skills. They've honed their crafts. They've learned. They're strategic. They can move steps ahead of everyone else. They can foresee what's going to happen next. Like, they are very perfect for each other. Like, I think this is like the most perfect personality for her to date.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
Not afraid of being themselves. Like big, strong, powerful, and wears his heart and her heart on their sleeve. Like, they're not ashamed. They're unabashed joy for each other, and love for each other is like something that I don't think either one of them have ever had.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really know about him, but I
don't know. I do know that unfortunately there is a percentage of Swifties that for some reason that I don't understand do go after, like, his ex-girlfriends, and I don't.
But why would people do that?
I don't understand the thinking behind that.
Yeah, I don't either.
We certainly don't condone it, but
absolutely not.
It's like, if you listen to Invisible String and to all the girls you've loved before,
I don't condone.
I don't understand how you would have any animosity towards his past girl. I mean, he's got past girlfriends. It doesn't affect their relationship.
And I don't condone, like, I don't even condone, like, sending messages to, like, Joe. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know.
Me neither. Like, I don't think any of it is necessary.
Yeah, like, to know
what's the point? It's too much.
And we're all we don't know anything that happened.
No, exactly. And it just gives us a bad name. Like, that's why there are people who are, like, they don't want to admit that they're a Swiftie. Because,
I know,
unfortunately, Swifties have a bad reputation.
Some Swifties, yeah.
There are some that kind of, unfortunately, give us a bad reputation.
It's really sad because, like, here's the thing. Like, if you just stop for, like, 1 second and, like, look at your own life and go, if somebody was to judge me right here, right now, on everything I've ever done, every relationship I've ever been in, how I've entered and exited those relationships, the things that I've done inside of them, the thoughts that I've had while being in them, you know, like, all of it. And then, you know, that's like a terrifying thought. Like, oh my God, could you imagine if there was somebody, like, out there, like, right now at this very second, there's probably, like, half the planet is, like, sleuthing around on, like, what Taylor has done in the past or what Travis has done in the past. Like, I can't imagine knowing that those things were, like, going on for eternity, like, nonstop around the clock, all different parts of the world, trying to find shit that I've done or, like, said or acted or mistakes I've made. We're all human. We are on a human journey. Taylor Swift is a human being, and she is.
Yes, she is.
Human person.
Like, and she doesn't need us to defend her in any way, like, in against public people, or I mean, in our private conversations, we can have our Swift interventions. Yeah, obviously. But we don't need to go on public platforms and defend her or get
No,
upset
but like
with
it's like
people
a reality check that like Taylor's human. She's a human being. She's just famous as shit and like incredibly talented, but she is human. Therefore, when I say that, means like imperfect.
Yes,
makes mistakes.
She's gonna make mistakes, and she's
like,
gonna do things that we don't agree with and that we don't like. We don't think she's perfect,
right? Like, or like she's, you know, like she has the same emotions that like we all like. She's confused at times, or like she is filled with joy, love, sadness, you know, revenge, like whatever the things that we are human. Like she's not above being
right.
Human. Like she is limited to the same amount of emotions that you and I and everyone else on Earth has. Like, do you know?
And she's fully capable of defending herself
without question,
and defending her good name.
Like she shouldn't have to defend her good name because no one that I have ever met or has ever lived has ever been flawless. So, do you know what I mean?
Exactly. But I mean, there are people out there who, like, if somebody writes, let's say, a negative review of one of her albums, there are people who, like, go so far as to dox that person or whatever. And it's like, that's not necessary. We're allowed to have differing
without
opinions.
question.
And she can defend herself fully. She doesn't need us to do that for her.
She does not. She doesn't need anything.
She doesn't. She needs us to appreciate her music, and that's what we do.
Or not like it. Like
I mean, as fans.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But like there are some songs of Taylor's that I don't like. And I skip them every time and I'm like, what? I fully wish she never made the Christmas album. Like I'm like I was just like, I don't do you know what I mean? Like
it's funny because we don't count it.
I don't, but like some people love it, and I'm like,
we say there are 11 albums. Yeah, we don't count that one, and we don't count the Live from Paris album. Doesn't count
because it's a live.
It's still an album.
It is still an album.
All their artists count their live albums as albums.
That is true. That's true.
So
I think it's because it wasn't a separate era because it was already a part of Lover.
I know, but still.
Yeah, I feel you on that. But like, I don't know. I mean, the thing that I just like love to get across is like, you know, I think that the world would do so much. It would just do so much good if we could we could express emotions better. We could talk and have discussions. Like I feel like this is a skill set that's been lost, and it's very fortunate because I think it's the most vital one. Is like being able to disagree. Like in this very video, I brought up all this stuff with Coney Island that you have never thought of.
Yeah.
And were you like, no, you are totally wrong because I've never thought
of it. Can you imagine if I like, no, storm
but like, do you know what I mean? Like, it was just like, oh, something in like that a perspective.
I am gonna hear that song differently from now on, and I love it. I can't wait to listen to it again.
Well, and I can't wait to hear if you're like Holly, you're off the rails, or if this is like honest, because like honestly, like again, in this exact video, I was like, well, actually, I don't even know. Like now, I feel like I'm being completely off the rails with my dissection of this song. Like maybe I'm going a little too deep into it and missed, you know, the whole like maybe I missed
No, I
am in too deeply. So
you can't go too deep.
Well, sometimes you can't. And you kind of miss the whole thing because you're like I mean, I've done that. Like it's again, like I think that everyone's viewpoint is right because guess what? We will never know unless
until she writes her tell-all book, which she better.
Right.
Cat 2 has now decided to make an appearance.
So. I mean, now I'm just like interested to hear that's another reason I love doing these videos is because
me too.
It just brings out like all of these interesting things because I don't know why like in my head I was like everyone thinks this about this. Although I have never really discussed the song with anyone either. Yeah. Like now that I'm thinking about it. Like Coney Island's a song that I don't think I've ever had like a full-blown conversation about.
Well, I remember like for our last video we were doing we we did do New Year's Day, and my first thought was, there's not much to say about this song. And then there was like so much to say about that song.
Totally.
Like, dove into it. I was like, okay.
Yeah, like, so now I'm just interested in knowing, like, and I hope that everybody has gotten this far in this, because we've talked about these songs for like 4 minutes of this like 4-hour video. I hope that, like, I want to know, like, your opinions, like, on, has anyone else picked up, and I'm going to put them on the screen. Like,
okay.
I'm going to put them on the screen, like, what I'm talking about. And the parts of the song that I'm talking about, like, that I think are, like, just straight up out of other albums that she stuck in here to make it be, like, well, this is the list of all the goodbyes.
Thing is, like, I definitely think you're onto something, because the birthday cake part always really stuck out to me as, like, that feels weird. Totally. Like, there's something about it that doesn't, like, fit with the song, especially it's almost like too prosaic of a birthday cake. And of course that's Jake, of course.
It had, like, there's nothing else that can possibly be. Like, she's not going to bring up birthday cake. Like, were you standing in the hallway with a big cake, you know?
Yeah.
With a big cake, happy birthday? Well, no, he wasn't, by the way. But, like, and I think that's also the question. Like, were you? Oh, you weren't. But I'm apologizing to you.
I'm going to give you the apology you're never going to get.
Yeah, like, I think this whole song is like, I'm sorry.
So and healing. Also, it must have been so healing for her to write that.
I think it was.
To write the apology that she's never going to get.
Right. And also, like, her apologizing. Like, I forgot to say her
name.
Absolutely. I forgot to do all this because I was the fast lights, the merry-go.
Yeah.
You know, all of it. I'm sorry.
Because she was pursuing a goal.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I just think it's an entire song of her saying goodbye to everyone that she's ever publicly dated. Except the Kennedy. Now that I'm thinking about it, though, I don't see
that was so short-lived, though.
Yeah, Connor Kennedy. Maybe that's just like that's not going to count.
And maybe it's in there, and we just don't know.
But, like, I really think the "Who Coaxed You into Paradise and Left You There" is 100% a getaway card, like, to Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do.
I used to hear that lyric wrong. I thought it was like roller coaster.
Oh, really?
Well, because it's Coney Island. And then I like looked it up and I was like, oh yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I can totally see that. And I think over and over, Lost Again with No Surprises, Disappointments, Close Your Eyes, and It Gets Colder and Colder When the Sun Goes Down is just like,
that's being at any amusement park. But it's going
just like
through the day and
and it's like the revolving relationships. Like, it's like, no surprise, this is over, and now, like, let me just apologize to another one. And here's I'm sitting on the bench, looking at my life in like slow motion, almost like flash before my eyes, and now I'm writing the song to apologize. Like, now I see it.
Yeah, well, and I also think that line is sort of like, when you're at an amusement park and you're riding the rides and you're doing all the things, like, it's very dizzying. It's very, absolutely. You're going through the rides and you're up and you're down and you're around and you're around and you're heightened. You're very, very heightened, which you are in a relationship, especially the first parts of a relationship. And then when you finally sit down and like take a breath and like look around, is when you kind of, oh, what did I do? Where did we go? What happened? And you kind of take stock of everything.
Yeah, and I feel like during the pandemic is when she had that pause on the ride of her, like, giant life. And she could actually, like, oh, wow, you know, like, now I can, like, view this in a way, because everything has been shut down. You know what I mean? There is no fast pace of my life. Now that I'm stuck in stillness, I can see these things so much clearer, you know? And so I'm just going to write this song. I'm gonna throw it in here, and like,
it's like mirror. She wrote Mirror Ball about everything stopping, and then Coney Island about what happened once everything stopped.
Yeah, like, it's like the reflections that she's had. She kept it the same, like, sort of like circusy motif. You know what I mean? In a way, and but wrote it about it in a different. Yeah, I mean, it's not about her fame and how she's projecting to other people. It's like, it's like a bunch of apologies, both to her and for her and from her and to everyone. It's like, now I want you to listen to this and really listen to like the songs that Matt sings and the lines that Matt sings and the lines that she sings.
Yeah.
Because it's really interesting if you hear it in this like point of view, like he's the voice of her exes and she's
really was. I just ran out of time. I was gonna like sit down and like do like for both songs, like her parts and then like the male parts and like compare them and contrast them. I just ran out of time because I've been like preparing for my surgery and everything, and
I know.
my birthday and everything. And this one got sick.
Oh
yeah, he was hospitalized over New Year's, but he's better now.
Yeah, why I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I guess he has to do that, but now I'm gonna listen.
Yeah, definitely do that, and then also notice like the parts they sing together, and it's like when you're too wise to trust me and too old to care line. They sing together.
Yes.
I think that's interesting because it's like both of them agreeing on the same thing, like all of extras and her saying this exact same thing. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm breaking this down too much. Like, wildly.
I love it. I love the way that you've seen that song. Sorry, I'm so like raspy.
And I think it's also like a realization song about why all of her relationships failed in the past. Like, it's like realizing and apologizing.
Well, and it's funny because that's why her relationship with Maddie failed too, really.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, but it does, I think, at least in my life, like, you can have the realization, but it doesn't fix everything.
Right.
Like, you still have to stumble a little bit, and you still have to like, kind of like get the lesson a few more times.
Yeah.
Before you figure it out.
Yes. Absolutely. And I think that the one line that's Maddie in this song is a universe away. And I only think that because of like lines from Peter where it's like both underneath the same moon but in different galaxies. And the line
I am dying to break down Peter.
Oh, me too. Like it's like one of my
I have so much to say about Peter. Like it's I keep getting new realizations about it.
Well, we have to do my birthday surprise songs.
I know, yours is next. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So should we like wrap up these songs?
Yeah, let's wrap these up. Let's wrap these babies up.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up like
guys.
A birthday present, baby.
Yes. So happy birthday.
Oh,
again.
So our next episode is going to be Holly's choice.
For my birthday.
For her birthday.
We're going to do a double.
It's going to be a double. Maybe you can think of some Easter egg posties.
I'm sure I can.
And also before we do our sign off, we just want to give love to Los Angeles.
Oh my God, yes.
And everyone who is dealing with these wildfires, anyone who has loved ones. I have some cousins who have lost their homes. It's a terrible situation. We are sending all of our love,
absolutely,
our positivity. If there's anybody, any sparklers, or if you know anybody who needs help,
please reach out to me or to Taylor or to just reach out to somebody. Like don't take it all in. I've lived in obviously you guys have been there with me going through 2 hurricanes back to back, and it's devastating. The impact is very real mentally, even if your home is fine, it's still absolutely devastating. It's a sadness, it's a loss, it's grief. It is really, it's very difficult. And my heart is broken for California as a whole and for all of the people that are suffering, losing things, but also all the people that have to bear witness to people losing everything is actually extremely difficult as well.
And just the fear. Just the fear of not knowing.
Fear. Yeah, it's devastating.
And it will go on for a very, very long time.
Yeah. And I've been
devastation.
Yeah. You guys have all been in my heart, in my mind, in my prayers, in my thoughts. And please reach out to somebody
please, we will direct you to resources if we can. We will help you in any way that we possibly can.
Absolutely. And just don't keep it all in. Like, if you don't
Yes,
feel
please.
comfortable texting or like DMing me or Taylor, like reach out to somebody. And you know, but like honestly, anyone is always I'm always here for anyone to reach out to. So
same. Always here.
Please do, because
except for, you know, the one day I'm gonna be unconscious and be cut open. But other than that, always here.
Okay. Yes, absolutely. And I just I just know how hard it is. And I just don't want anyone to be alone or to feel like they have to take on like all of the weight of their thoughts, of their neighborhood.
Absolutely. We are here. We are a community. Swifties are a community.
Yes.
And we are here for each other. Sparklers are a community. If you are watching this and you are not you are not a sparkler, that's okay. We're here for you too.
Enjoy the app.
Like, subscribe, so that we can continue to grow this. And
join the app called Sparksfly.
Please do, because we are amazing and we are very supportive of each other.
Absolutely. I'm super proud of the community, and I am endlessly just so grateful. And you guys have helped me so many times, and I am so happy that Sparksfly has helped so many people. You know, it was a dream of mine, and it's come true, and I'm so excited, and I'm endlessly proud and super fascinated by what's going to be the future. And I am very, very excited about some things that are coming up soon. So anyway, with all that being said, let's just wrap this up so we can enjoy the rest of our days.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. So without further ado, let us just say peace, love, and Swifties
forever.